I
They got to
agree.
get
I agree.
smoked. They got to get smoked or let a win slip through their hands for him to get fired this week. I think like it's got to be like that. But the thing I keep hearing, which I know is kind of nonsensical, I do not think that Bill Belichick will want to coach here because here comes Bill Belichick. I don't think Bill Belichick will want to work under this ownership or work with Howie Roseman. I mean, what do you guys think?
This might sound terrible, and I don't really care. Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah,
And he wasn't offered a job this past year, and I honestly think Bill Belichick wants to get back into coaching.
Sure. I
I think
also
he
think that I'm sorry, go ahead, Cole.
I think he doesn't fit the profile of what the organization wants. They want a
I agree.
pliable coach
Yep.
that they can have do what they want. A guy that they don't have to pay a lot. A guy that's not very experienced, and a meek and humble guy, at
Mhm.
least towards them. And I don't think he fits any of those things. So I don't think they will want to Bill Belichick. I think they will want to try to. They're probably going to wait until the offseason to get rid of Nick Sirianni because they're probably going to want to get a coordinator from another team, bring him in that hasn't been a head coach before, so they can kind of push in the way that they want to move this particular individual. That would be my personal opinion. I don't think Belichick has ever been in the running for the job in Philadelphia
No,
because
I don't
honestly,
think Howie wants to give up control again.
right, and then honestly, Belichick wasn't good without Tom Brady. So I mean, what do we need to bring in a guy that was only good with one quarterback, and then when you give him other guys, he looked terrible.
Well, that also you talk about the profile the organization wants. They want to bring an offensive coach. They're not going defense. I mean that's what they've shown for the most part, right? Like they're going to bring in a coach with an offensive mindset. So I don't see them bringing in a coach with a defensive mindset and he brings in his guy. If he came here, he would bring Josh McDaniels, which
Oh
I'm
God,
not.
please keep him far away from
Yeah,
this.
I'm not a fan of him at all. But that's I think that's
Keep
who
him
his
far
OC would
away
be.
from me, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a doofus.
yeah, he's
That's an understatement.
for sure. So that's a and that's the point right there, right? He's going to want to bring in his assistants, and they're not going to let him handpick his assistants. Whether beggars could be choosers or not. I think he much rather be playing around with the Mannings than have to like go anywhere with his hand held out. There'll be other opportunities in the NFL because there'll be plenty of coaches that will get fired. So don't see the Eagles doing it. I do see Nick getting out of here soon. And I kind of agree with Cool. I don't know if they'll do it in season. I really unless it's a
You don't think he'll do it in
disaster.
season, Cool? You really don't?
I think it would have to be egregious because I don't think the guy that they want is out there unless they feel like there's a guy on the staff that they can elevate. Because Kellen Moore is not going to say, "Yeah, I'll be the interim head coach," because he already understands if the team is bad enough or things are going bad enough for the coach to be fired. Oh no, I'm not going to be. I'm going to stay offensive coordinator. Vic Fangio has never been interested in being a head coach, so you would have to go into a position within the
But I
organization.
think Vic could be an interim just to help the franchise.
I don't think Vic is interested in doing that though. Because
Okay.
he's had 30 years to say, okay, I'll be a head coach somewhere. He's never done it, so I don't think he has any interest in being a head coach, interim or not. And I
Okay.
think that you'd have to find someone on the staff, a positional coach that you feel comfortable making that move with.
I think Vic would do it, only because I don't think he wants to leave this area. Talked about his ties to the area. He wants to do defense. They love Vic Fangio. We know that they were trying to get him even before last year, and didn't work out for reasons that we'll leave alone for now. But they love his philosophy. They love it just meshes well. So I think he'll be a mainstay. They're gonna want to hire a coach. I'm like, yeah, Vic can do the defense. That's cool. It's gonna, and I think that's I could see him doing that because I don't see him going anywhere. I don't think he wants to be a head coach after the Denver experience.
I think he'd go in to be an interim to help the franchise and then just go back to being a DC for the next guy.
Yeah. And then, if they fired him in season, I think it's an open audition for Kellen Moore how well the offense does, to be honest. I
Yeah.
really do. And that's if it does well, he's got a shot at becoming that, because the Eagles like to pick a young and up and coming coach, or if they don't go that way, I'm gonna follow the pattern here. They're gonna pluck someone from the Andy Reid tree. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll call up Andy, get his recommendation, and the next coach will be from the Andy Reid tree. I guarantee it. If it's
Maybe
somehow
they'll get Doug
Sirianni's done.
Peterson again because he'll probably
No.
be fired as well.
Oh, he's getting fired. I thought
I mean, he'll be available.
100%. I think he'll be fired after this week if they don't win that game down in London.
Yeah, well, they won't bring him back because he'll be like, Can I bring Press Taylor?
Oh,
I'm kidding.
God.
Of course they won't really bring him back. I'm kidding.
No,
but
I
I'm
know,
just
but
saying.
like he'll be like, Can I bring Press with me, please? Because he's with
He
them
has too
down
much
there.
experience now.
Oh.
He's been a head coach on 2 different teams. That's too much experience to be our head coach.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
That's funny.
Doug's got that Super Bowl, but there is one constant reminder that his teams outside of the Super Bowl year have a propensity to start off the season slow, which guess what? We're living in that right now. You know what I mean? I feel bad for Doug though, man. Like you thought he had a good situation and it's not working out down there for him. But
You can feel bad for him all you want. He did it. He did it himself. He brought Press Taylor there. That's on him, bro.
No, I know.
Yeah, he decided to get a backbone with the Eagles, and they was like, "Oh, you want to get a backbone? You're fired.
Yep.
We didn't hire you for that. You're fired."
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah. So now that we flushed that debacle last week, because it was a debacle,
It was.
we're gonna flush it, and we're gonna talk about the Giants, who I love to hate, and we're gonna talk about the preview.
I know that's your least favorite team, Godfrey.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this. They got to probably do an updated list. NFL did a top 10 list of rivalries, and Giants Eagles was number 1 on their top 10.
That's a mistake.
That's
It's not accurate. It's a mistake.
Preposterous.
Yeah, 100%. That's
Eagles Cowboys was on that top 10 list too.
That's a way better rivalry than Eagles Giants. Come on now. The Giants have been everybody's whooping boy for like the last 10 years. They may have had one good year, but they still were whooping boys.
Updated list. Come on, bro.
If that's the updated list, somebody's been going to Diddy parties.
Listen, man, that rivalry has a lot of history. Going back to the 60s. It's close. You're going right up 95. I don't know if you guys remember when the Giants were good with the Kerry Collins years. When they were slightly better than
in the 90s, bro. We're talking about the 90s. You said it was an updated list.
2000s.
Yeah, Kerry Collins was drafted in 96, brother.
Yeah, but he was on the Giants in the 2000s, and there was definitely rivalry going on there. And then they started to stink for a long time.
Okay,
right.
So, but they did have the Eli Manning years, so they weren't horrible all the time because Miracle in the Meadowlands too.
Eli had 2 really good years, and they won Super Bowls.
And listen, there were some rivalry games, man.
There was. I mean, I get it. I don't hate the Giants anywhere near the way I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys and Patriots for me. Those are 2 teams I hate the most. I hate everybody, but those are 2 I hate the most.
No love for the Commanders?
No, I love their quarterback, but no, they're in our division. Extra hate for them.
I hate them because of Josh Harris, personally.
That's fair. He's getting there. He's getting there with
me. Hey, whatever your reason is.
I already don't like him, but it's up a step for me because of Josh Harris. That's personally how I feel about
Josh Harris.
Yeah, screw that guy. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So Eagles are, I'm going to look at the odds real quick. I'm going to assume they're favored here. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Yeah, they're favored by 3.5 on the road. Total of 42.5. What are the keys to winning the Eagles winning the game?
I think the biggest key for the Philadelphia Eagles to win this football game is for the Philadelphia Eagles to be able to run the football, sustain the pass rush, and control the elements in New York. Their cornerbacks aren't great, right? But here, the way you look at this Giants team is they have great pass rush. Brian Burns, they have Leonard Williams, they have that dope they drafted from Oregon. I always forget his name.
Thibodeau.
What? Who?
No, are you talking about Kayvon Thibodeau?
Thibodeau.
I think he's on injured reserve. He's on injured reserve. He ain't even playing.
Okay, so he's not playing. That's great for us. But they have a lot of guys, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, that can get after the passer. And
Yep.
I think
Brian
that their
Burns
secondary
didn't practice yesterday, so I don't think he's playing. Right
he's
now,
playing.
he may not play either.
He's playing.
Groin injury. He may not
yeah.
play. It's groin.
I'll tell you right now, Brian Burns will be out there. This is one of those games where you have to 100% run the football, control the clock, and not turn the football over again. They're 1-0 when they don't turn the football over, right? Cool.
And they want to know when they don't turn the ball over when Nick Sirianni has a shaved head.
And when Nick Sirianni gets in fights with with our coaching staff, you know, that's
Yeah. I don't disagree. What do you think, Cole, about Cole's keys to win the game?
So I'm not going to rehash Gene's. I agree with all those. But on top of those, I would say play calling has to be better on offense and defense. And what I mean on defense is we have to look at the situation. I've been saying this all the time. If you can't run all of the defensive sets that you want with certain players, then when you want to run certain things, you need to sit them down. And I am referring to Darius Slay. He is slower than he was. The reason that we play off coverage a lot, that we didn't as much this past week, is because he got hurt at the beginning of the third quarter. I believe it's the beginning of the third quarter, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Then we had to put in Isaiah Rodgers and
Keely Ringo. My man Keely Ringo had the hit of the game.
Got some time So you were able to get some other guys in, and they were able to play press coverage. They were able to play man. The zone even looked different because you had guys who could not only see what's happening but react because they don't have the same amount of mileage. Father Time is undefeated. We all slow down at some point. We all get a little bit bigger. We all get weaker. It doesn't matter who you are. So my thing is play calling. Correct personnel and play calling are very big. Also, we've got to make sure that Jalen Hurts continues to play mistake-free football this week as well. And if we're not running the ball with number 26, if we're not allowing Saquon Barkley to come back to New York and douse them, destroy them, and just run through them, then something's wrong. I know I'm a big fan of let's have a pitch count for Saquon, blah, 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 blah. If we're going to have a week where we say piss on the pitch count, go play, this has got to be that week.
The only thing that scares me is that damn MetLife Field.
But I was going to say, smart though. Be smart about it. The field is bad. Get him some good holes. Let him get his yards. This should be $150 plus for Saquon. He should be able to go back in New York, and you should allow him to just dog those guys. We did see some backup work last week. I will say this. I don't like Jalen Hurts throwing the ball to Kent Gainwell because every time he throws Kent Gainwell the ball, he can't catch it. So if Gainwell's in a game, it needs to be like a toss, a little lateral, or a pass straight to him, like on a screen. Other than that, just have him run. He's just too little.
I'll say this. The matchup I'm looking forward to most, though, and I hope they line up a lot, is Malik Neighbors and Quinyon Mitchell. You're talking about best v best. Best wide receiver so far in this class, best cornerback so far in this class, 2 first-round talents, 2 rookies. I want to see those dudes match up against each other. I can't wait to watch that. Obviously, we give them a little safety help because Malik Neighbors is different, but I really want to watch those two go one-on-one together.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I hope he's not able to play.
Oh, no. Neighbors is already cleared. He cleared concussion protocol yesterday.
Well, listen, I think Neighbors is very talented, and I think they're going to try to get on the ball. But Andrew Thomas is
most targets in the game.
Yeah.
Most targets in the league up until he got hurt.
Andrew Thomas is on injured reserve. That is a huge loss for them.
Bro, we're missing Jordan Mailata, and we're throwing out Fred, Beans, and Johnson, and he's terrible, bro. So anytime you talk about their left tackle, talk about our left tackle not playing because our left tackle stinks.
He does, but overall on the offensive line, we're better.
You mentioned 3 times Andrew Thomas is out, but you won't mention Jordan Mailata is not playing.
Look
at this with green goggles, bro.
Yeah, I'm not looking through green goggles. I just don't think it hurts us as bad as it hurts the Giants.
I got news for you. I think Johnson, it hurts us worse.
I think Johnson can be serviceable. Is he going to be the same level of talent? Nowhere near that. But I think he's serviceable. I would say he's okay. I wouldn't quite say he stinks, but I would say there's concern. Like I wouldn't go into the game with Fred Johnson at my tackle position feeling like I would going into the game with Jordan Mailata, to Gene's point. I definitely would not feel as comfortable. There's a concern there. There has to be. But at the same time, Got to figure out a way around it.
Is
talking about a 3rd-round talent, a guy that blocked for Sam Howell down there in North Carolina. Joshua Zidu is not a terrible offensive lineman that you're throwing in there for Andrew Thomas, where the Philadelphia Eagles are throwing out Fred Johnson, who stinks. He's awful. He's had the worst PFF rating on offensive line to offensive tackle position the last 2 weeks in the NFL, not just for the team, in the NFL. He's been terrible.
Yeah. They don't have a Jeff Stoutland. He's going to Stoutland.
You're right. Look, I'm telling you right now, I want the Eagles to win this football game. You want to get predictions? I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Eagles lose this football game. I think they lose the football game because I think Nick Sirianni, they start slow. They turn the football over. The Giants defense blitzes. I think it's a low-scoring game, and I think the Eagles lose. And I'm sorry to be the naysayer, but the faster you can get that moron out of the building, the better it is for me. This team's not winning a Super Bowl with Nick Sirianni as head coach. Period. Point blank, period. Not happening. Get him the hell out of here.
So I don't need them to win a Super Bowl. I just need them to beat the Giants this week. And I think Nick Sirianni, the keys to the game is they're going to run the ball. They're going to pass for sure on this hapless pass defense. They're going to run the ball because Nick Sirianni loves narrative. He loves storyline. He knows it's a revenge game for Saquon Barkley.
You don't think that the Giants are going to be looking for that? You don't think they're going to be waiting to stop the run?
Sure. I just don't. I just
because I guarantee that owner went down there and told that whole coaching staff, guys, I don't care if AJ Brown has 300 yards versus us. Saquon Barkley better not beat us this week. I guarantee you that owner went down there and said that after what he said on Hard Knocks. Like, if you think the narrative in the public is, well, Saquon Barkley revenge game, and that's great. I'm sure Saquon will play his ass off. But they're going to have 8 men in the box all day. They're going to make Jalen Hurts beat them with his arm all day. Any good defensive coordinator is going to have that mentality, period.
Yeah, but at the moment where that doesn't work, though, at the moment where Hurts is throwing the ball, because Calcaterra has shown that he can be a good target. So even if we don't have our often hurt tight end, Dallas Goedert,
thank you for coming to my side.
I've never said he wasn't often injured. What do you mean coming to your side? You said he sucks. He doesn't suck. He's just always hurt.
I corrected myself on that, but he does get hurt a lot, man. I'm frustrated with that
for years. You know what I'm saying? The truth is, I'm
very frustrated with that.
I think the thing is, if AJ Brown does his thing, Devontae Smith does his thing, Jahan Dotson at least got 1 catch from Hurts last week. Maybe that's the start of a connection. Maybe he's getting a few more throws. Not saying he's going to have 100 yards or anything like that. Not over the top. But maybe we can get the pass game going to the point where they got to say, well, you know what? They're dogging us. We got to ease up some and worry about these wide receivers. And then Saquon can, pop a couple of big ones. I'm not expecting him to go out there and, not have like a 20-yard game and just dominate. But I think he can pop a couple of big runs on this team. A lot of these guys he knows a lot of their weaknesses and how he can maneuver a little bit. Obviously, they know the same about him. So I'm not saying it's one-sided, but I think he can get some big runs and some major yards, but I don't think it's going to be that he has like 25, 30 carries. I'm thinking, a couple of carries is not much. He can bust 1 or 2 because he's due for one because his lineman stopped him from getting a big run last week, right? From basically knocking him down.
I just want to be very clear when I say this too. For the Philadelphia Eagles to be so much more talented than New York Giants, just to lose a home game last week versus Cincinnati Bengals, only be a 3-point favorite in New York on the road, have 84% of the tickets on the Philadelphia Eagles on the spread, and 98% of the money is on the Eagles money line. 98% of the money. Tell you right now, you just look out for this one. Ready? I'm going to give you a heads up. Ready? This is going to happen. Jalen Hurts, big pass, AJ Brown, 55 yards. But wait a minute, there is a flag on the play. Holding. Number 78, offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down. Be ready for that. It's going to happen. You're not going to have to beat 11. You're going to have to beat 15. You're going to have to beat 15.
If he's bad enough, maybe they'll switch Becton over and throw Tyler Steen if he plays poor enough. There's always
Yeah. Listen, cream rises to the top, and I see Saquon doing some damage in the passing game.
You're right. I really do.
And
maybe I just changed it to all-purpose yards, Godfrey. Maybe I need to change it to all-purpose instead of 150 running, but like a $150 all-purpose. because that's something we have to acknowledge too. He'll probably do more damage in the passing game in this game, at least to start with.
Yeah, and listen, the Giants have improved, but you gotta listen. The owner might say that, but there's a coaching for his job as well down in New York. He might not be here next year either. And you got to win. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't have the quarterback. You got to win. And listen, that coach is coach for his job, so they're not going to sell out and just let them beat them over the top too. Like that's not going to happen. There's gonna, it's going to be pick your poison. And the only thing that could stop the Eagles in this game is the Eagles or Nick Sirianni with scripted plays for the first. Yeah.
It's always going to be a concern. I'm going to make a prediction, y'all. I'm going to make a wild prediction here. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to score in the first quarter.
Nope.
They're going to poop. They're going to poop.
Now, I think it's going to be a field goal. I don't think it's going to be a touchdown, but I think they're going to get a field goal in the first quarter of this game.
We went over these stats when you were driving. I don't know if you heard
a field goal.
5 drives, 5 opening drives for the Philadelphia Eagles. Cool. 5 opening drives for the Philadelphia Eagles. 5 games. What do you think their total yardage is on all 5 drives combined?
Like 60 yards.
60?
Might be more. It's got to be more.
What do you think it is, Godfrey?
For all 5 drives on
the all 5 drives combined.
I know a lot of them were 3 and outs.
I don't know. Go like maybe 110.
22. It's not a joke.
That's funny.
5 opening drives.
That's so bad. I gotta laugh. 22 yards.
22 total yards.
But we should get the ball back.
You script the first 15.
But yeah, I mean,
we're gonna get 3. Y'all. We're gonna get a field goal. Watch it.
Yeah, old man Bob.
Like the last play of the first quarter or something. We'll get a field goal. I believe, man.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah,
I believe in Joe Hendry more than I believe in the Eagles scored on the first drive.
No, I'm not saying the first drive. I'm saying the first quarter. I'm not saying the first drive. I'm saying the first quarter.
Yeah, I'll go on a limb here and I'll say they get a touchdown in the first.
Whoa. Slow down.
You're over there by yourself, buddy.
Listen, I want to see.
Let's give predictions. Score predictions.
That's wild.
Yeah.
20-16. No. 20-17. Giants. Walk-off field goal.
Go ahead, Godfrey. I'll go last.
I'm going to go 27-10 Eagles.
I'm going to go 31-17 Eagles.
If either one of you guys want to give me 13.5 points for the Giants, I'll take the Giants plus 13.5, right? If you lose, we'll make a bet. If I lose, I'll eat dog food on air next week.
No, I'm not.
In the betting world, I never take plus 13 points in pro football.
Yeah. Bro. I never give you 13 points.
You guys are laying 14 and 17 points to the Giants. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to win if they win this game, it'll be by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, well, the Giants, they got some problems. There's injury, and I watched it. I mean, a lot of people, because it was a national game, watched that.
I don't want the Giants to win, Benny. I don't want bro. You don't not listen to me more, bro. I don't want the Giants to win. I want the Eagles to win. But this quarterback, this coach is such a failure. He's such a bro. It's like the definition of insane. You remember the Iguodala Eagles, Benny? Are you a Sixers fan? Do you remember the Iguodala 76ers? 5th seed every year, lost in the first round of playoffs every year. Sometimes they make the second round and lose. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. This dude is a clown. Cool said it, and I said it at the end of last year. They need to fire this clown and get him out of town. It took me a lot longer than Cool. Cool called it week 12, 13 last year. It took me until the Tampa Bay game in the playoffs. I said, I'm done with him. I'm finished.
Yeah,
that was the last impression I got of Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox's Philadelphia Eagles was to watch them get their butts kicked in Tampa Bay. Nah, bro, that's not sitting well with me.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts.
No, I feel you on that. I wasn't on the fire train until after this week. You know what I mean?
It took you
the first time you were on the fire train?
Not until this week.
You way too long. You about like You about like you about
I-
like Jeffrey
The
Lord.
national media, the headline story on First Take on Get Up was about Nick Sirianni combating with the fans.
And everybody went in on Nick Sirianni. The thing is, I didn't even have to say too much today because you've already heard
Daniel
everything I have
Woody,
to say.
Colin Coward, Mike Greenberg, all of them, they all clown this dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were.
And
then
even
you'll
Jason
bring
Kelsey was like
kids.
doing his best on Monday Night Football to try to stick up for him. He's like, yeah, but they need that fire. But like he knows he shouldn't have did what he did. Like literally everybody. Why are you arguing with the fans?
Where's Big Dom at when you need him? You know, I think that, you know, the opposite of what you want to happen, Gene, is going to happen this week, and he's going to survive to live another day. That's what I think is going to happen.
They
I mean,
built them out. All right, can we get a
don't
counterfeit
think-
green? Because I have a counterfeit green. Can we get a counterfeit green?
sure.
Counterfeit green is, and guys, I swear to you, I love y'all. Sierra, Benny Boom, Old Man Mob, all y'all in the chat from Cools. I love y'all. Counterfeit green is listening to Sports Talk Radio, listening to fans talk everywhere about the Eagles are going to run through the Giants and A, B, and C. You guys are wearing green goggles. When was the last time this team blew anyone out? Ever? Like, show me the last blowout. It's been a year. They have not beat a team by double digits in a fucking year. Think about it. They beat the Packers on a last-second Hail Mary. They barely beat the Saints. Who have they blown out? They beat the Browns as a 10-point favorite at home by 4 points. And this team's going to blow out the Giants? What are you watching? Last year, the Giants beat the shit out of them in New York. What's changed? I'm good.
Well, that was a
The
game didn't
defense has
count, didn't it?
changed quite a lot since
That's
last
fair.
year.
That's fair. Got rid of that
And we
dope.
got a better running back.
Yeah, I agree with Cool on that, and I think that the offense are going to be able to capitalize on the position that the defense could put them in. And I
This is
think
attrition too. We took the guy that dogs us on the Giants, and now he's on our team.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Tyrone Tracy, better watch out for that Tracy train. Listen, counterfeit green for me, and I kind of said it earlier, is Nick Sirianni bringing his kids up there to shield him from the tough questions that he knew he was going to get. That was chicken shit on his part, and you know, I just feel like that's not going to fly in Philly, and people called him out for it too, and deservingly so. You know what I mean? If you want to get up in the face and have that smoke and talk trash, people are going to come. Philly's not like that, man. They're not going to do it behind your back. They're going to do it to your face, and there's going to be no cheap shots here. And that is my counterfeit green, because for me, you were definitely running because you knew what you did was wrong. And I know Howie was in that box like shit, you know, and Lori was probably like, whatever. So that's my counterfeit green. Nick Sirianni, faker than a $3 bill.
My counterfeit green is all the Hurts haters. You're still not happy. He goes out, he has a mistake-free game. And you still, we need another quarterback. We need this, we need that. He's not the right quarterback for the system. But he's the quarterback. So if he's not the right quarterback for the system, then what you're saying is the system needs to change. And if you don't understand that, you're a dummy. And I don't care where you work. I don't care who you are. You're a dummy if you don't understand. You build a system to work for your quarterback. You freaking idiots.
Yeah, we love the backup quarterback of Philadelphia. Not when I say we, I'm not in that we. And I don't think anybody else on this panel is in that we, but I will tell you that when you people say that, I could tell that they don't watch any football but Eagles football, right? I'm not saying he's the best quarterback.
They watch Eagles football.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league, but like there's quarterbacks out there where like you'll hear that same person like, get this guy, get me Baker Mayfield. Don't stop.
Bro, don't do that, bro. I'll tell you something right now. Baker Mayfield's playing much better football than Jalen Hurts. I'm not one of the ones saying Jalen Hurts.
This week,
this week,
Yes.
he's the number one quarterback in the NFL this season. God,
I'm not even gonna hate on him. He's playing better than him right now. But guess what?
You think that's the way it's gonna finish?
No, I don't. But I
Okay.
think he's going to finish better than Hurts, statistically, offensively. I can't. We'll talk about this next on the next show.
It's gonna take a whole lot of work for Hurts to
yeah.
get up there. It's gonna take a
Yeah.
lot. I have to agree with you.
We'll revisit it after this week. Baker plays at the versus the Ravens. Jalen plays the Giants.
Ooh.
Jalen should have a better game, right?
If he don't have a better game against the Giants than Baker has against the Ravens,
Right? So we'll talk about it again next week. Guys, it's
gonna be
7:01. We
tough.
got to wrap it up.
it's gonna be tough.
So thanks for listening, guys. As always, you know what the deal is. Cool, Gene, all that. We'll be back next week. And this is these guys and me not saying goodbye, just saying take it birds deep.